Well, hey ho, everybody. Welcome back to the Squared Circle Music Channel. It's me, your pal, your host, Major. That's right. Here in Greater Western Oregon, we like to sit and spin records and talk about and how much we like them. So that's what I'm going to do today. I hope that's all right. It is Monday. It is my last day of vacation. I am super sad. But I'll be having another vacation again here pretty soon because I always save up all my time off for the end of the year so I can really truly enjoy the holiday season and just, be lazy as fuck and eat a bunch of food. So, yeah. But I had the day off too. Normally I have my kids on Monday and their mom wanted them back because I took them early. So I had my kids for like 4 straight days. All for the Thanksgiving holiday season. So I'm very grateful for that. Very, very thankful and grateful for the mother of my children. Sarah, I love you. Thank you so much for wonderful children, and thank you for being such an incredible co-parent and partner in crime for this crazy thing called life. It's not easy every day, every year, but we make it work. And man, I tell you, doing a schedule like this where it's like I take them 3 days, she takes them 4 days, and it never stops. It can be pretty hectic and it can be pretty wild. But I'm pretty sure that my kids are happy, and that's all I care about. So thanks to her and everything she does too, we're doing something right. So I had enough time today without them. I dropped them off at school, and I got to be me for a whole afternoon. Had a tiny project to button up at the House of Records here in Eugene, Oregon. I do maintenance work, handyman shit for them, and I get free records for it. So like I said, I had a tiny project to do for them that I had to button up, but it's also new arrival day. So I got to pick through a bunch of new arrivals at the record store. I spent like 2 hours there just thumbing through a bunch of stuff. It was great. Got to go to a bunch of junk stores this week with my little vacation time. So it was fruitful. Lots of time spent on the couch, which is, I guess not the best thing for a guy like me. But this time of year always gets me to get up and start moving my body more. Helps me stay warm, and everything starts to kind of tense up and gets all creakety, and gotta oil the joints, keep moving. So yeah, it felt good to get out, get on the town, and go to all my favorite junk stores. And now I need to wash my hands and blow my nose. But I found some really great stuff, guys, so let's check it out. Welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Thrift. Well, let's see what we got here. Nothing really in the way of CDs or cassettes this time. I didn't even find any movies. Really fat pile of awesome LPs, which is great. And this I got one really cool CD. I've never seen this. It must be pretty uncommon. And just, the art always just kind of jumps out of anywhere and nowhere because it's so distinct and beautiful and colorful and vivid and imaginative, and we all love it. A huge part of the reason a lot of us, collect particularly progressive rock and hard rock of the 70s is because we love the cover art and the fantasy themes and everything of Roger Dean and all of his wonderful art. Well, I found this fucking CD it's a tribute, it's a Pink Floyd tribute album from the early 90s or maybe the late 90s called Us and Them. And Roger Dean did all of this amazing artwork for it, and of course the lettering and everything. And it's all symphonic. It's an all symphonic tribute to Pink Floyd. I've never seen this. It's really, really cool. For $1. Yeah. I win. super cool. I don't know who released this and when. Released on a label called Point Music in 1995. So yeah, kind of a weird period in Pink Floyd history, a weird period in, you know, prog fantasy art. But this is fucking incredible. So yeah, I'm really excited to dive into this and hear the symphonic Pink Floyd stuff. That's the only CD I got. Pretty neat. And like I said, a really fantastic pile of LPs. So I'll get into it, and I'll try not to take too long, guys. All right, everyone, excited for the holiday season? I know I am. Already broke out all the Christmas records, and I'm cleaning and, you know, dusting off all the Christmas records. But I've also been talking a lot about this type of stuff lately, because I'm getting into, like, you know, doing new things and new styles of collecting. And I decided I wanted to try to do some full catalog collecting, and other things like, you know, just certain series in certain catalogs, with, you know, within catalogs. This being one of my little, like, you know, pet projects that I'm into right now. I love that label Odyssey, which is an offshoot, I believe, of London Records. Or no, I think CBS and somebody else, or was it? It's London, I believe, but it's an offshoot of that. Odyssey is, and they just do a bunch of classical stuff, but there's a whole, like, kind of mini series of these, like, scattered intermittently throughout the 60s, of just, like, you know, basic classical composers. But I love the artwork, and I love just the overall design of the LP cover. Like, it just really, it gets me. I dig everything about it. And so there's a whole bunch of these. There's at least probably a couple dozen of them, all different, like, shades and colors, and abstract, cool, like, pattern art, like fractal style. Like, they all have that kind of, like, mandala / kind of, like, fractal, almost kind of look like Rorschach inkblot tests kind of stuff. I don't know, I fucking dig it. I like everything about this Odyssey offshoot. So I've been collecting a lot of these. I have at least about, like, a half a dozen of these now. And I had never seen this Beethoven one, so now I have this really cool Beethoven one. I was just picking at this price tag, trying to get this price tag off of here. It's one of the dingier, dirty ones I've ever picked up. I think it even has, like, a, you know, cocktail stain here, but whatever, I don't care. Luckily, it's brown and black, so it kind of hides that. Neat find for me, though. Here's another great couple of finds back to back, and they're all, like, they were mint, like, practically mint. Pretty cool to find this type of stuff in the wild. I mean, you always find Johnny Cash records, but you don't always find mint Johnny Cash records, and especially the Johnny and June albums. Because these are really, really popular these days. Everyone loves Johnny Cash, but they're more attuned to kind of, like, reach for the, you know, the stuff he did with his wife, especially the women folk. The women folk really love this. I'm a vendor at record shows, you know, on the side in my off time, and I have a huge chunk of my collection that I just take to, you know, haul to record sales and make a few bucks and trade and whatever. Yeah, and, you know, the women folk really love this stuff that the married duet did. So pretty cool. Carrying on with June and Johnny Cash. And of course, the Blood, Sweat, and Tears album. But like I said, dude, it's a mint copy. I mean, you can't say it's mint because it's, like, out of the shrink, whatever. And it's been played, definitely. But it's, I mean, look at the luster on it. And there's no splitting. There's only, like, a tiny bit of a bumped corner there. So whatever, you can call it very good plus. But yeah, again, the vinyl is, like, squeaky clean. Pretty cool. And this being one of his most, you know, iconic albums, just because of the cover art and the photography is pretty amazing. So pretty neat to find those in the wild. What else did I pick up here? Oh yeah, I'll burn through these really fast because this is a big deal to me, but no one else really cares about this nerdy, stupid shit. I dig it a lot. I've had all of these in the past, but then I, like, you know, I got rid of them like 10 years ago and only kept one of them because part 3 out of the series is my favorite. But then I kind of was just like, man, I just want all of them because they're all really good. And I had no idea they go back as far as they do, all the way to like almost the early 70s, when this first album was like 74, 75. But Mannheim Steamroller did the Fresh Air series, and this one, yeah, is like, I think in 74. Got the cool like second pressing, you know, sticker on it still, and you know, I love finding these in the wild. And so now I have all parts 1 through 5 again. I had 3 and 4 for a long time, but now I have 1 and 2, and then 5th one makes the, you know, parts 1 through 5. So, I don't know, I really dig this stuff. Most people don't, but I mean, come on. Beautiful, wonderful. Nerd music. We love hippie nerd shit, don't we, around here at the Square Circle Music Channel? Some more hippie nerd shit for you. Actually, this is kind of a grail of, I wouldn't say a grail. I haven't like been like, you know, seeking this for like a really long time, but more recently, I've always loved her. She sang for Fairport Convention. You guys know Fairport Convention. She was on and again, off again, numerous of their albums, all throughout the 70s, right? So she had this like couple of cool solo albums. Sandy Denny. I finally got this Sandy Denny album I've been wanting for like ever. I didn't pull this out of the wild. I got this at in the new arrival section at my record store. Because I think I probably mentioned aloud at one point in time. I was like, hey man, you got any Sandy Denny, you know, that gal that sang Fairport Convention, blah blah blah. Yeah, and he's like, I don't have any lying around. Months down the road, you know, homeboy made a mental note, thanks Greg, and out comes this fantastic Sandy Denny album. What's it called? The North Star Grassmen and the Ravens. Really cool. She's so beautiful. Anyone ever hasn't ever listened to her or Fairport Convention, you know, kind of folk, rock, hippie, Celtic music, and so she's got that kind of like Celtic twang. It's really fantastic. Yeah, really good stuff. Hooray for me and Sandy Denny. I've already spun it. It's beautiful. I love it. And I spun this right when I got home too, because I love Terry. How do you pronounce it? Is it Terry? It's Terry. Terry Ripdahl. He's Norwegian, right? So I don't know how to pronounce his first name, but this album, Waves, is magnificent. If anyone is familiar with Terry Ripdahl, yeah. Fantastic jazz musician, multi-instrumentalist, but primarily plays guitar, but has a lot of other, like, you know, fantastic musicians, but yeah, fantastic jazz musician, and this being one of my favorites. So yeah, check it out. 82, oh no, 78, a little bit earlier. Stoked to have that. Okay, so here's some more of my like goofy nerd shit that I'm doing. I was just talking again about, you know, new ways of, you know, collecting and having fun with this whole thing, and getting catalogs and certain things. And here's another tiny offshoot catalog that I'm gonna do. This is the one that's the offshoot of London Records. I can't remember what the Odyssey label was, an offshoot of a couple different big, you know, Capitol and something else. But this is that wonderful offshoot from London Records called Orphic Egg. I'm getting all the Orphic Egg series because I love classical music, and this was, you know, kind of a lame shot at trying to get the young generation in the 60s and 70s to, you know, to listen to their classical music. So they, you know, got all the most famous composers in the world and just threw the title, you know, head in there, because in the 70s lingo, everyone called each other heads, right? What's up? That guy's a head. I don't know hippie 70s lingo. But yeah, got Mahler's head from the Orphic Egg series now. All these have really fantastic art. Primarily why I want to collect them, because I think the Orphic Egg is really cool. And there's only like 14 or 15 of them, I think. And a couple of them are even like non-issued catalog numbers. There's like OES, oh, this is the very first one. OES 01 through 14, I believe. And two of them are even just blank catalog numbers, no release. They never put anything out. So I have the Mahler's one now. I have a Mussorgsky one, and I have a Baroque one. And now I also have some Ravel as well. Ravel's head. It's really cool. He's just like flicking his cigarette ashes into like this like fucking third eye. There's like the pyramids are over here and shit. There's all kinds of really cool stuff going on. I love these things. And of course the music is inspiring and wonderful. So hooray for me. Hooray for the Junkstore. I found some really great copies of some more classic Americana that I love. Being a Pacific Northwester born and raised, this is the kind of stuff that, you know, these have been floating around in bargain bins here in, you know, the greater part of the Pacific Northwest forever, and no one had really paid attention to them recently, until recently, because I don't know, they're just like, you know, that overboard kind of machismo, man's man kind of thing. Like, this guy was, you know, this guy was the real deal. This was a guy that was like a real logger, you know, guy singing like campfire songs at logger camps and stuff. Like, you know, not like a lot of the other, you know, country artists of the time, of the 60s, 50s and 60s. Yeah, I've talked about this guy a lot. Buzz Martin. Good old Buzz Martin. He sings his songs about loggers. I have this one, so now I have 2 copies of it. And this one's in really great shape too. Where there walks a logger, there walks a man. And this one I've had before, but yeah, a logger's reward. Sweet, sweet death. Yeah, these are great albums. And I especially love this label, like the art, everything, ripcord. All right, guys, just a couple left to show you, you know, kind of a modest week. But this one's this huge. This is a big deal. Finding this in the wild too. An immaculately clean copy on the Verve label. It's that wonderful Buddy Rich, Gene Krupa. Burnin' Beats. Burnin' Beat with Buddy Rich and Gene Krupa. It's like friggin' mint condition. Pretty cool. I win. Yeah, I'm gonna have a good time with this one. I love this stuff. Dueling Drummers. Last one I got was a brand new record because I wanted some new Christmas music, and this one looked really wonderful. It looked beautiful. I think it's mostly just like ambient, like what would you call it? Secular. It's just secular, you know, holiday music. No real tie-ins to anything traditional or religious. I'm not sure where in the world this person comes from, male or female. Just don't know. But it looks just beautiful, and I'm sure it's fantastic. An artist named Tor Lundvall. Tor Lundvall, an album called Yule. Look at that beautiful art. So yeah, this will just be kind of like on display the whole season long. I can't wait to spin it and see what it sounds like. I think I'm gonna give it just like till the end of the week before I start throwing on Christmas albums. It's still November. I like to wait till December, but we're all getting anxious for the holiday season here around my house. My kids love Christmas. So yeah, excited for the season. Ooh, there's all kinds of neat ephemera in here. That's cute. Look at that. All right, everybody. That just about does it for another episode of Tales from the Thrift. I'm your pal, Major, over here in the woods, and we're keeping it real. We're keeping it warm. The sun's almost going away, and it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, well, I'll see you next time. Laters.